I'm paranoid. Hey guys, what's good? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Okay, I was kind of taking care of some stuff right then, but welcome to Hot Tea Talk with Miss Netta. This is the last Hot Tea Talk of the year, so I got some things to say. You're welcome, Lisa. You are so freaking welcome. Let me fix this. All right. So I just got in from the highway, so uh, I'm really running behind, but that's okay. I definitely want to get it out. 2020, 2020. Yes, 2020. This has been a year. I'm sure this has been a year for a lot of people. I'm pretty sure it has been a year for a lot of people. Good, bad, right, wrong, a lot of deaths. RIP to a lot of people. I don't want to be before you guys long, but I definitely want to go ahead and end 2020 so I can on into 2021. So I am Miss Netta with Hot Tea Talks. Got a lot of good things that's going to be coming in the upcoming year. A lot of changes that have been made or being made, so forth and so on. So y'all just get ready. Netta's Divine Sense. I am your candle maker. I do let the aroma speak for itself. Absolutely. And it definitely speaks for itself. So if you have not tried Netta's Divine Sense, I encourage you to try Netta's Divine Sense. Um, let's see. What else did I want to tell you guys at the beginning? I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of tired, but at the same time, I'm finna bring this new year in with a bang, man. I'm just finna let God be God in this upcoming year. So, um, the topic for today is 15-year blessing. I mean, lesson, blessing, and growth. What does that mean, Miss Nettle? For 15 years, I was married. I was married. Um, I'm not gonna call out names. If you don't know, then you don't know. But if you do know, then you do know. But I've been married for 15 years, and this is the year that everything ended. Everything has ended. Um, Thanksgiving, it ended. Um, but even just kind of starting right there, Thanksgiving, I was upset, but you can't be mad about it, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Can't remember the last one we even spent together or brought in together. The reason for this live today is it's my therapy, and it's also to help a lot of other people. A lot of other people. It was a lesson. It was a lesson. I will say that when I went into it with an open heart. When I met my husband, um, I was going through a really rough time in my life. Like, if you watched my previous YouTubes, because my whole entire life story is on YouTube. Hey, Maurice, how you doing? How you doing? Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Um, but my whole entire life story is on YouTube. So for me to come here and begin to tell you, it's not to put anyone on blast, it's not to put myself on blast, it's not to create confusion, chaos, put you in my business and this and that. But I vowed to do that years ago when I originally told my life story on YouTube. So here I am at the end of a 15-year relationship and an 8-year marriage. Here I am. starting from the beginning, right? It is so very important that you take time out and you be friends in relationships. Before you even get into a relationship, it is so very important that you are friends first. That's first and foremost. Because if you are not friends, then it's going to be kind of rough. It's going to be kind of rough because you really haven't taken time out to get to know each other, to even know if you can deal with each other or want to be with each other on that level. See, it's far deeper than penetration. It's far deeper than that. But of course, when I met my husband, I was in a very dark place in my life, right? I had just come out of a situation where I was saving my life and my children's life. Um, so I was in a very rough place. I was. And at the time, you don't think about it. You don't look at that. You don't realize that type of thing. You just know, I know for me, that you're lonely. You have just went through a big storm, like the biggest storm of your life. I thought that a lot of my past, right? Molesting, rape, abuse, you name it, was a lot until I went through that. And to know all about that, go check out my YouTube, Hot Tea Talk with Miss Netta. It will tell you. November 17th is the title. So if you want to know what I'm speaking of, then definitely go and check it out there and you'll get the answers that you need. But I was in a rough time, right? But I've always been the type of person that loved relationships. I love to be with just one person, man. Like, I don't got time for all that bouncing around. And that ain't never been me. Ain't gonna never be me. But regardless of what trial and tribulation, that ain't gonna be me. But anyway, um, it was what it was. But when I met my husband, my baby boy was 9 months old, right? He was the product of the man that was deceased. He was that product. And so he came into the world without a father, bottom line. And with that, that was okay, because he had me if nothing else. But in the meantime, in between time, I met my husband, bottom line. And here's the thing, ladies. This is what I need y'all to understand when it comes to knowing your place, knowing your role. That is so very important. Before I go further into that, I just want y'all to know I got NSG Stacks here, and I got Draco. Tagadio was supposed to be here, but he out bringing in his new year. Ain't this something? The 14-year-old is out bringing in his new year. That's my fellas. Draco, that's my newest baby, but he my forever baby. Know that. I whoop a brick about him. Yeah, that part. But anyway, so anyway, with that whole situation, where I'm going with all of this is this 15-year lesson, blessing,
Stupid.
lesson, blessing, and growth, man. But anyway, so I got with him. I got with him while my baby was 9 months old, and although I'm not slow, I'm not naive. I was taken back by the gentleman, like I guess you could say, qualities at the time. And with him, I knew that I did not have to worry about being called out my name or being jumped on and stuff like that. And that mattered at the time. That mattered. Although I needed a little companionship, that mattered at the time. So, because, I didn't want to have to do I didn't want to have to go through that I went through the first time no more. I didn't want to see that side of light or darkness or whatever you want to call it ever again. So, yes, meek, mild, beautiful spirit, beautiful heart. Like, for real, I'm all in. But I'm all in anything that I take on. I'm all in. So he was around. He was around all the time, all the time, all the time. And it grew. But in the process of all this, I was still going back and forth to court, going through life, like for real, trying to figure this stuff out because, again, I was out my mind. Like I was in a world that I was completely unfamiliar with. And now it was time to have to get familiar with what's going on and what your life has become and all the stuff you got to do. Yeah, that part. That part. Now, when we first got together, I don't even remember discussing us even being in a relationship. I don't remember. I just remember after kicking it for a few minutes, boom, bam, bam, it was on, and it just kind of went from there. But in the process, I've always been I've always had morals and values, bottom line. I've always had morals and values.
Some of y'all females don't have. Trust me, I know.
I've always had morals and values. And I was staying at my mom's house at the time because a lot of stuff had happened prior to that. Now, mind you, that's the only time that I'd never been back home to live. I left home when I was 17. Yep, never returned home. But for that particular moment, I had to return home because my life had turned upside down. And yeah, and in that, you know, I got a whole dude who around, like at mom's house, regardless if it was me wanting him around or him wanting to be around, he was around. So I'm not having no dude laid up in my mama's house like that. My mama didn't even have dudes laid up in the house, so I wasn't gonna do that. I moved in with my sis, still in a whole nother situation, always around. I'm not putting my problems and my issues on nobody else. Bottom line. So I got a job after all the tragedy, and I worked a little bit, and I moved in my own place all over again. Yeah, yeah. Me and my children. Yeah, let's go. Tap in, share the live. Tap in, share the live. And once I did that, moved in my place or our place, because I even talked with him about all of this, the actual place and everything. Never left him out of anything like that, included all the way. Like when I go in, I go all the way in. If you know me, then you know this. Hey Chip, how you doing? But anywho, we in this place. Bills coming up. It's time for us to take care of bills. Here's where it comes, the beginning of red flags. But you close your eyes, right? Because you don't want to see it. Close your eyes. Every moment when bills are due or coming up to being due, or there was just the smallest of the slightest of a disagreement, I can bank on him packing his stuff and leaving. Yeah. But here's the kicker. That was the start of it. It became repetitive. even before marriage. It became repetitive. But me being a fighter, me being I don't give up easy. No, I'm gonna try to find a way out of no way. So every time he left, before marriage and after marriage, I run chasing him. Yeah, you heard me right. I run chasing him. I run chasing him. He didn't come chasing me, not one time in 15 years. I ran chasing him every single time. Yeah, me. I did that. So much humiliation because every time I did it, I stripped a little bit more of me away, right? It's important, ladies, that you stay in your place and not hunt. It's very important. It's very important to be hunted. A man that finds a wife, not a wife that finds a husband. It's very important because you will have to go through the type of heartache and pain that I went through if you don't. Like, it was straight up heartache and pain. And see, understand this heartache and pain, it wasn't just my heartache and pain. So it took a little bit more to get over it, right? It was my children's heartache and pain as well. Because throughout this time, it wasn't just I that had to endure you leaving, they had to endure that too. And every time you came back, they had to endure that too. And every time you left, they had to endure that too. It wasn't just me. But see, the problem lied there because when a man tells you something, when he tells you, shows you who he is, even a woman, when a woman tells you something or she shows you who she is, believe her. Believe her. Because if you don't, you're going to cause yourself a whole lot of heartache and pain. Now, it wasn't because I thought that I was ugly or couldn't get a man or thought that he was the last thing on earth. It was simply because I loved him that I chased every time he left. It was simply because I didn't want to have to start over. All my red flags were there long before marriage. All the red flags were right there long before marriage. I chose not to see them. God will get in. I prayed. Hey, Kizzy. I prayed about it. I fell out about it. I cried about it. I begged. I pleaded. Oh my God. You name it. I did it. Not just to my husband, but to God too. And mind you, my prayers to God were not always bring my husband home, look over my husband, watch over my husband. A whole hell of a lot of them were that. A whole lot of them was fix his heart, help him to see. But a lot of my prayers was, Lord, if this is not for me, give me a sign. And I'll be the first one and the last one to tell you that a sign came every single time. But you got to be careful what you ask God for. Facts. You got to be careful what you ask God for because He's going to give you exactly what you ask Him for. May not be in the form that you think it's going to be in, but He's going to give you what you ask for. And every single time He gave me my answer, but I didn't want to hear it because, again, that means that I got to alter, I got to change, I've got to rearrange my life. I remember even before I married my husband and things weren't going just the way they should. It was problems and issues. His father, Lord rest his soul, told me, he's not ready for what you're ready for. Me, that good strong will, yeah, that's me. Ah, well, I can maybe just wait on him to get ready, or I can just, you know, help him see what he really needs to see. All wrong, even again. All wrong. Again, when a person shows you and tells you who they are, you got to believe them, people. I didn't want to because I'm always trying to fix something. I'm always trying to repair something. I'm love. I love, man. And I'm going to try to find a way out of no way. But you can't always fix everything. You can't always make a person want it. Again, when a person tells you, I'm going to keep saying it in this, who they are, when they show you, believe them. Believe him. Because even before marriage, he told me he never wanted to be married. He told me that. Even before marriage, he told me he didn't want a relationship. He was used to the type of relationships and he was cool with that. Where you get with somebody who got somebody, they talk to you about their problems that they going through, what they do, their home. Y'all get together, y'all screw, and then they go on back home to their dude. You was used to being the other dude because that meant what? You had no responsibilities. No responsibilities. But me, oh well, I'm a good woman. I can make him see that he want these things because these things are beautiful things and these things are good things. Yeah. When somebody tell you and show you who they are, believe them. Yeah, you got to believe them because he was telling me. Let me explain something to y'all. I am not upset with him at all. Why? Because everything that happened, and I do mean everything that happened, I allowed it. hmm It was my fault. It was my fault. It was my fault because I allowed it. Every sign that was there, every time that I felt it in my gut, I still tried to fix it, tried to talk to the kids, getting the kids to trying to get the kids to understand just because they seeing this and they're angry. They're angry. They were angry every time this stuff happened because why? They watched how their mama was being treated. I wasn't seeing it at the time, but they was watching how their mama was being treated and they didn't like it. But out of respect, because again, I stand on morals and values, and I'd be damned if you will disrespect. Yeah, you will disrespect my husband. That won't happen. I don't give a damn what he do or do not do. You're not going to disrespect him, right? But even before we got married, I went to his sister and I was simply just going because I wanted to try to get some understanding of who I was dealing with. Now that mind you, this is after the father has already told me that he wasn't ready for what I was ready for. But again, I love relationships and I ain't got to worry about a lot of stuff. So, but anyway, I went to his sister's house. And before I could even get really anything out my mouth, I was being talked bad to. I don't know what the fuck you come over here for. What you want to expect for me to tell you about my brother. But I ain't got nothing to tell you. And it went to something to the degree of I don't know what you done did to my brother. If you've got hoodoo or voodoo or some shit on him or not. But if you do anything to my brother, this is what's gonna happen to you. And if you come back on my street, it's gonna be a problem. Now, I had just come out of a traumatic situation. I had just already flipped my wig. So I'm not even finna entertain this bullshit. I really thought that maybe I could come, woman to woman. It ain't even about being your brother. I'm just trying to get understanding. You grew up with him, I did. But that's how you feel? Fine. Fine. I never had anything to say. I even had his brother's wife tell me that if I got my husband up out of Memphis, that maybe I could have him to myself because I had to get him away from his mother. Did no good. No good. That man called his mama for everything. Everything. He blamed me for everything that he was not. I don't know how I could have been to blame, but he blamed me. I was using him. Using you for what? Baby, when I met you, you didn't even have a job. I stayed with you because I loved you. Even the job that he's in right now, man, that's crazy because he blamed me for that too. And I put you in position to win, bruh. I did. That was just my little moment right there. I'm sorry. But no, I put you, seriously, but you tried to leave me for bad. You tried to leave us for bad. See, it's okay that the marriage was over. It's been over a long time. You just, when I got on that bus and came home on the day after Thanksgiving, after I had rode to Memphis with my husband, and I didn't want to ride back with him because I don't want to be humiliated anymore. I don't want to be made to feel like I don't matter anymore. Like I don't want anybody that don't want me. And if you ask me, he did not want me for years. And he said it. I don't know if I was just supposed to be a sex thing or that couldn't have been it because I wasn't even giving up no sex like that. I couldn't. It was too many other things going on for me to even think about sex act. One, because I wasn't horny or didn't need it. Yeah, I'm being very blunt today. But it wasn't because I wasn't horny or didn't need it. But if it come at the cost of this is all we gonna have in common and smoking some blunts, if I gotta tell you how to keep you together just to be able to be with me, I can't do that. And after so long, it became a problem where you change or you fix what I'm asking long enough to get my attention, and then you convert right back to what you are. No, I wasn't perfect in the relationship, man. I had a whole lot of fucking mental issues. I had just come out of a very traumatic experience with my baby daddy. Simple as that. It was my world was turned upside down with that. And I had to heal. Not just from that, from a lot of things. But see, my problem was after we were married, I still to this day don't understand why he married me. Because if you never wanted to be married, you never wanted this relationship, and every time you left, I came back begging you, I don't understand why you kept coming back if I was something that you did not want. I don't understand why you would tell me that I should have found a better father for my children, but you come back. I don't understand how you can think you paying some bills in the house is actually taking care of me. My hair, my nails, my toes, my everything, my cell phone bill, my everything, my the household food, everything. I amazing, but let you tell it I was using you, I was taking from you. I would go deep about how for real you really weren't paying much of anything when it came to in this house. I won't go into that detail, but it's a fact. For what you was paying, you should have been able to have more than enough saved up in the bank. Anything that you did extra, a lot of times you volunteered it. I didn't ask you for it, but you're blaming me. I have never been in a relationship where a person will for real not take ownership, and if you got to take ownership, you mad. I forgave a whole lot of things and looked over a whole lot of things because love hides a multitude of faults. It's not a game. And It was not that I was not a good woman, but for a long time, I felt like that because I felt like I had to try to fix this relationship. I felt like I had to fix you seeing me. I had to fix it. I had to make you see me, whether it was positive, whether it was negative, whatever I had to do to get you to see me and simply understand where I had gone through. That's all I needed you to do was be there to understand. I didn't need you to fix me. I was fixing myself with me and the help of the good Lord. Our first year, I mean not first year, our first, I guess you could say, section, I was raising kids. I was raising kids. When I met my husband, my baby boy was 9 months. Stacks, 7, 8 years old. My daughter, 9. My oldest son, 11. They are now 25, 23, 21, and 14. Big facts. So I was raising children. What I was doing even before I met my husband, I was raising children. I was doing what I had to do. I was doing it. Yeah. I gave up a lot of hopes and dreams and wishes and this and that to raise children. For real. The second part of it, I began to get myself together. I moved to Texas to get myself together. It wasn't because I was running from anything. I was getting myself together, man. I had to get myself together. I had been through too much. At that time, too much. So I needed a fresh start, a piece of fresh air. So me and my husband and my children moved to Texas. Yeah, we did. We moved to Texas. And everything was good until we moved the kids here. Everything was good. Everything, it's like when responsibility for real comes, everything is a problem. Yes, I had issues with jobs, or whether it was getting terminated, whether it was walking away from it, whether it was sacrificing, because it's several I done sacrificed. I had to sacrifice for the betterment. I had to sacrifice. But I never kept anything a secret. I was very open with everything. My mistake was that I thought that I had a husband who had my back, meaning that if you just so have to take on a little bit more than you normally would have to take on, that you got my back because you understand, yeah, I checked myself in an institution. And all of this was because I could not get no understanding, not just from the children, not just from life, but from my husband as well. I couldn't go to him and lay my head on his shoulder and know everything was going to be okay because he had his head down further than I did. A lot of times, even in the relationship, I had to go to people for help. He went to his mama all the time. There was no hustle. There was no, I couldn't take that time to get myself together without being able to talk to my husband, and he say he understand, but when it actually began to take place, he flip out on me. Whether it's leave or walk around like he's mad as hell all the time. All the time. And again, I wasn't perfect because, like I said, I had a whole lot of, personal shit going on up in here. I had a whole lot of personal shit that I had to, for real. But I expected, which was my fault, because again, I didn't listen to the very beginning when he said he didn't want none of this shit, but you stayed. Even then when I came begging you back, and I'm talking about, it's sometimes I done went begging on hands and knees, like, for real, please come home. I need you. I miss you. I this, I that. And it was simply because I loved him. Simply because I loved him. It wasn't because I, quote unquote, needed him, right? Because every time he left for weeks and months at a time. And I still had to keep shit flowing, whether he was there or not. I still had to keep it flowing. Bills still had to be paid. See, because when he leave, he was that type of dude that leave and ain't no contact, ain't no phone calling, ain't no nothing. But see, what gets me is at this stage in the game, he let his mama allow him to he let his mama tell him to block and delete me. As if I wasn't even the wife, man. As if I wasn't even the wife. And you know what he do? He block and delete me. And then, like I said, the first part was raising children. The second part was getting myself together. The third part, it was time to for real focus on my marriage, focus on what was going on here. When he came back the last time, that's what I was doing. But see, by this time, it's not good enough because your eyes on other things, your attitude on other things. It's been so much going on. But for me, yeah, even for me, yeah, even for me, yeah. It was a lot having going on, and plenty of times I wanted to throw their motherfucking towel in and not even look back. Plenty of times. Plenty. When I say plenty, I done plenty, plenty. But because he was my husband, I fought. I stuck it out. I got in there. Yeah, for real. I did. But the problem was I was fighting by myself. He think that if he pay bills, that he's being used. He said he didn't get encouraged. I didn't know whether you wanted to do anime or be a rapper or what you wanted to do. When I first met you, you was rapping with your folks. And then that stopped. You was drawing stuff. And for a long time that stopped. Then you got back to it. But you say you wanted to own all of this and do all of that. But you never put forth the effort to do anything. And you said there was no support. But baby, what am I supporting? If you tell me what I'm supporting, I'll support you. Yeah, facts. I'll support you. No, I'm not into that, but I'll support you. I ain't even into rap. But my son followed his dream, so I'm going to follow it till the wrong fucking wheels fall out. Same thing I would have done for you if you had said that that's what you wanted to do, but you couldn't tell me what you really wanted to do. So what was I supposed to do? You wanted me to love you more than you were willing to love yourself. I just simply needed you to love me, to understand. That's it. But I saw the signs. I knew that you couldn't a long time ago, but I just hoped that shit would change. Now, I'm getting ready to end it. I just really had to get all of this off my chest because long before I left this relationship, I left this relationship. I left it. I just kept holding on because that was my husband. But when you don't want to honor the vows, I can't make you honor the vows, and I'm moving on. Simple as that. I've moved on. I'm good. I'll never look back. I'm great. Thank you for everything. Stacks, yeah. Yeah. Because he literally, him and Tagadio have been the ones that has been at home nonstop to see and hear and be a part and be around a whole lot of stuff. And I simply asked Stacks, told him what the topic was, and asked him if he had anything he wanted to say. And he said, yeah, he'll sit in. If he feel like you want to say something, he'll say something. So now I give him an opportunity to say. Draco as well said the same thing. Draco hasn't been here the whole time, but he was around for a long time. And in the time that he got a chance to see some stuff that I didn't even realize. So it's kind of to let you see, hey, it wasn't just me. It really was real. I opened the floodgates to not just me, but my family. My family never judged you, never judged that man, period. Like ever, even on my mama's side, my daddy, I don't even be around my daddy's side, but I love him though. But my mom, nobody ever judged him. They embraced him. But when he get mad, he go and tell his folks this and that and all of that. And when I come around, I'm treated like I'm not even present. And this has gone on the entire relationship. Like most of his family didn't even show up to the wedding at all, period. No one was ever in our corner on his side. So there you have it. There you have it. I'm thankful to be free. I'm thankful to have opened my eyes. I'm thankful that God has for real had grace and mercy, and I look at it as a lesson and a blessing. Now I can actually get ready for my husband because I ain't never been married. I'm still waiting to get there. So, was there anything you wanted to say, Stacks, Draco, before we end this?
I mean, you could just tell that he wasn't happy here, I guess. Like, he was just putting on the front, I can say, because he never kept his word about nothing. I can say that. Like, he promised a lot of people a lot of stuff and didn't hold up to it. And stuff around the house, never seen him clean up, none of that. That's about it. You looking like that, bro?
That pain run deep.
That mind shaking.
I'm finna say he got something he want to say, but he don't want to say the whole thing.
That mind is shaking.
What you mean?
He retarded.
Damn.
He weird. He nasty. Don't clean up. What else?
But didn't he do for you?
What that mean?
Like, he took care of you, right?
No.
So you wouldn't consider?
It's not my daddy. Not my stepdaddy. What are you trying to say?
I'm saying, so you wouldn't consider like the different things that he did help out with, like graduation, growing up, whenever you did he get you clothes?
No. What are you talking about?
I'm just listening.
I was like, he didn't even give you no shoes. He didn't give you no shoes.
I got them
Oh.
red, white, and
I'm my role model. What you mean? Growing up?
Well, you got your one pair out of the 100 pairs you got in there.
Anyway, nah, but seriously, I had to get that out of my chest. It's 2020. We get ready to go in 2021 in a few hours, and I am so thankful to be going into 2021 with a clear heart, clear spirit. I'm gonna tell y'all something else he always did. He would always leave and then leave his stuff here. What you doing that for? If you gone, be gone type shit. But anyway, there's nothing. We good. But we're getting ready to go into 2021. I am pretty damn sure a lot of my family are excited about this situation. I'm pretty sure a lot of his family is excited about the situation. So everybody get everybody back. Everybody get everybody back. And y'all don't have to see me walking around with a sad face and a heart anymore, because we letting the past be the past. I love you guys. I really needed to get that off my chest. I just couldn't believe that I let somebody for real sit up and tell me and blame me and make me feel like and or think that, but it can happen. It can happen. And understand, just because you're not being abused by fists and stuff like that, that doesn't mean that you're not still being abused. Just when you know that something is not right, stand on it. Walk away. Save yourself the heartache and pain, because see, like I said, in the end, I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at me, because I knew better. I did. I saw the signs. I read the book, the whole nine, and I still tried to stick it out. Sometimes you just gotta let it be what it's gonna be. But hey, I love love. I love relationships. I love people, man. I love people. And I'm going to continue to be me no matter what. I lost me for a long time. I was, like I said, I was loving him more than he was loving me. And I was loving him more than he was loving himself. And it's like he expected me to show him the love that he wouldn't even show himself. And I was showing him more love than I was showing myself. Like, for real. I got lost there, and I'm sure he did too. He got lost in the relationship. It's easy to do. It's very easy to do, to get caught up and lost in another person, especially when it's different. So, I love you guys. I'm sorry to my family for everything that I put y'all throughout this time frame, these 15 years. I thank y'all for having my back, for being there for me, for not judging, for not turning your back on me, for not getting tired of me coming, boo-hooing and crying and all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all, but I'm better. This was just the closeout of everything that's been, man, and excited about moving forward, excited about seeing everything that God has in store for me and my family, man. I'm excited you guys walk into 2021 with your heads up. There has been so many deaths, so many people that have gotten sick. There has been so many. 2020 showed us everything. 2020 also showed us that anything is possible, man. Anything. Anything is possible if you trust God. I'm trusting God with my whole heart. I mean, my whole heart at this point. And I'm just excited. Y'all should be excited too, because I'm so excited. But anyway, love you guys. I'm finna get out of here and get ready to go enjoy bringing my new year in. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace.